Call the meeting to order at 5:31. And I will accept a nomination for the chair.
Who is it supposed to nominate? Scott. Is it Scott?
Yep.
I'll second that.
Well, there's gonna be some changes.
Don't let it go to your head. Are you gonna drain
Oh,
the
I'm
swamp?
just looking for this. Drain the swamp off my back.
All right, so, Madam Chair, it's
Oh,
been moved and seconded.
sorry, I was looking for something. Okay, so all those in favor, it's been moved and seconded that Scott will be the chair for the 2000
And that Steve will be vice chair.
vice chair,
And I'll be
and you'll
clerk.
be clerk.
That's
All those in favor?
the whole slate. Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Did anybody say anything they want? No?
To go for.
Yeah.
I promise to
Thanks,
get to
Scott,
the
it's all
bottom of
yours.
this.
That's as far as I get with leading any type of meeting.
Do we have any adjustments to the agenda?
I do not.
No, all right. If
Do we
not-
wanna do the other organizational things? Set time and place of board meeting?
Sure, okay. We would, I presume, continue to meet at the same time. That certainly seems to be
It's up to you guys.
workable.
Wednesdays at 5:30 every other week.
No?
So moved.
Month or week?
Yeah, every other month is good.
Second, or?
Okay.
And do we need to vote on all these things? I suppose it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
We're covered.
It's been moved and seconded, I think.
And, I'm sorry, yes, I guess that's not that follow that up. Moved and seconded to set the time and place of the meeting at 5:30 every other Wednesday. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the next question is the official newspaper of record. I will move that we continue to use the Brattleboro Reformer as the official paper of record.
Yeah.
You know, while, acknowledging the Commons as a, fine paper and
And that we
get a lot of good
inform them.
information, but it just seems that we get to more people with the Reformer.
Yeah.
And we inform the Commons anyway, right? Typically.
Most of, well, I mean, we don't put our public notices in there,
Right.
no, but,
All right.
which is most of what we do with
Right,
our
that's what I
newspaper
guess-
record.
right,
If
I
it's,
guess that's
To
what-
if it's a big, if it's something we want a lot of people to come to a meeting or something, yes,
we'll
we
post
do,
it
we do
there,
both,
so,
yeah,
Right, but this fulfills the basic requirements
Yeah.
of.
yeah.
So I'll move that.
Second?
All right, it's been moved and seconded to set select the official newspaper of record as the Brattleboro Reformer. All those, any further discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor?
Aye.
Here is the appointments list.
Did we act to eliminate some of those
We did, yes, they're not on here.
non-functional
Yeah, they
appointments?
are not on here anymore.
So
So, the first page shows the, appointments, and then the second page is vacancies, just to let you guys know what's still vacant. And then over the next,
So do we have anybody for
months.
for the Connecticut River Commission? No.
no, we have somebody that's interested,
Very good.
and they are coming in to talk to me about it, but she wasn't ready to be appointed tonight.
Sounds good. I would make a motion that we forward the appointments of all those listed on the 2017 appointment list.
I will. I second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to accept the slate of annual appointments for various standing committees and advisory boards and commissions. as presented.
Sounds good to me.
Aye.
All those in favor? Alright. Alright,
Do you have a question?
Yeah, I was just, what did we decide with the tax exempt committee?
So the tax exempt committee, we had asked them, everybody that was appointed previously, if they wanted to continue.
Mm-hmm.
And we asked them that quite a while ago.
Okay.
We never did anything. So I think so these people still wanna serve on it if they're needed.
I
I
see.
think what we'll do is we'll have a meeting,
Mm-hmm.
talk to them, and if there's not a specific charge right now, we'll table that committee for a little bit until, I think we're gonna end up with some landmark exemptions being asked in the next cycle maybe, and that might be a good time to kind of reorganize that,
Okay.
get that group back together to make sure that we know what we're talking about when we get to town meeting. Have them meet with the listers, because the listers are new, they've been sending out information to the tax exempt properties, so they can just have a refresher.
The other thing I wondered about having them do, and I don't know whether we want to do this sooner rather than later or not, is to ask them to bring forth some policy ideas, whether that, whether it's a policy that we would adopt, or whether it's just a sort of outline of how we would like to approach things. I don't know. I
That's
think
why-
we leave that in their hands maybe.
Yeah, I think that's why that first meeting, I should have the listers there at the same time,
So we could all talk
because
about
I
it
think
together.
probably they have I don't wanna say a policy, but they have a procedure in
They
place
would
now
have.
that's more clear than it was before.
Okay.
So that may be, I think that's where we were headed with the committee before, but I think
But the
that,
listers may have
I think the
taken some
listers
steps
has,
with that.
have kind of taken their own action as to what that process is.
right, but that would be helpful to
Yeah.
make it clear to the public.
Yep.
Oh, yeah. Just-
Yeah.
Yeah. So I figured after this appointment, I will send a letter out, getting them together soon, in the next few weeks.
All right. Any other questions concerning appointments? No?
I think you voted on that already, right?
Yep. Well, we have a number of appointments and vacancies. I don't know, perhaps we'll state them as Animal Advisory Board, Conservation Commission, Conservation, Animal Control Officer, CT of the Connecticut River Joint Commission. We have two openings on the Energy Committee, and the Wyndham Regional Representative, and the WMD Representative. All open slots, and we would welcome anybody to apply if they're interested. All right, may I get a motion to accept the minutes of February 22nd and March 7th?
Second.
Moved and seconded to accept the minutes of February 22nd and March 7th. Any questions, corrections, anything else? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, new biz, town clerk and town treasury salary.
So I just wanted to, make it a little more official than we had, up to this point. Of course, we had to pay Denise and Anita this week for this past week. And I gave Denise a letter, I gave, Anita a letter to confirm what it was we were paying through the end of FY17. And I just wanted, you guys to review it and make sure that that's, I'm pretty sure it's what we all agreed upon. As far as Anita is concerned, we'll be paying her the treasurer's salary through June 30th with benefits that she's been getting right along, health and all of that. That's what she understood. She agreed when I gave her this, that that's where we were at. And then, with Denise, we had the salary in, for FY18 in the budget, which is what I used for this letter that I gave Denise, so her salary is $840 a week.
And is that for both her role as treasurer?
No, this was
and-
just the clerk, because I think the treasurer portion we'll have to come up with how we're gonna do that, if it's gonna be monthly or if she
Annual
wants it all at
payment
once
as a
or,
Right,
yeah.
as a single.
So we'll go through that at some point, but this was more just, I mean, we could add it to this and just make it, I don't know, we'll talk about that. But that did not include,
Right.
this did not include this was just the town clerk 40-hour a week, so I should probably take that treasurer word out of there. No, I was just congratulating her there.
Okay, so you would like a,
Yeah, this is something that, you know, when we get audited, they ask us where the approval was for me to say it was okay to pay for something.
alright,
So, yeah, you probably should take treasurer out of there, just so that's clear.
Yeah, I'll change this, I'll
Or-
give her a yeah,
Or you could say that in the second
This-
paragraph, the treasurer position.
No,
The town clerk.
Oh, treasurer, I mean town clerk, right, yeah.
yeah, okay, I should have done that.
And maybe the treasurer
Well, I was,
is still to be determined. I mean,
Yeah, okay.
we know what the amount is gonna be, is that right?
Yeah, it's
We- we-
1,500 a
Right, we
year, yeah.
decided that, it's just,
I'll amend this letter so it's a little more clear.
I mean,
Yeah.
do you think it would work, how do you think that would work out better? I mean, do you feel getting it as a lump sum once a year?
I don't know that it really matters, honestly, to me, one way or another. I'm
Well-
assuming you're gonna take taxes out of it.
Tomorrow we'll
But we
sit
can-
down and kind of
we
do
can-
both.
We'll hash it
Yeah.
out. I'll sign another letter,
Okay,
a real one. This was only a trial run.
yeah, you and I will talk about it, whether you want that amount with your paycheck now, or if you wanna
Right.
do it in like
Right.
maybe 2 installments, or I don't know, we'll
Right.
see. I was more concerned getting her that salary.
Cash in an envelope tomorrow, small
Yes,
bills?
that would be great.
There will be no cash envelope tomorrow.
just to be clear. It will not be coming out of the slush fund,
No bitcoins?
Rainy day.
Okay,
and then the second one, also, for Anita.
Yes.
The other.
I mean, I
You wanna
already
do
talked
them-
about that one.
Okay, so do you want approval on these,
Yeah.
or do we wanna wait until we have the rehash?
No,
letter?
because it's gonna be,
The same.
yeah,
And do you want them separately?
it doesn't matter to me,
Okay.
as long as we.
I'll
know
make a
about
motion
them.
that we approve the salary listed for the elected town clerk, and that the treasurer stipend will be worked out, and that we approve the treasurer's salary through July 30th,
June 30th.
June 30th, as presented. And those numbers for the treasurer's salary are $432.90 a week, and for the town clerk position is $840 a week, and the new treasurer's stipend is $1,500 per year.
All right, let's second that.
All right, it's been moved and seconded to establish or clarify the salary to be paid to the town clerk at the 40-hour a week for $840, and to pay the current or the retiring treasurer salary of $432.90 each week until June 30th. Amounts. It's been moved and seconded?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Any other questions or comments? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. So what do we have? The annual financial plan, town highway form TA 60.
So this is the
which
form
is-
that you guys sign that certifies that we are raising more than $300 per mile through taxation to take care of the highways, which are way more than $300.
And the state requires us to.
Yes, this is
To
a
raise
required-
at least
yeah.
that.
Yeah. So, a motion to approve this, TA 60, and then each of you need to sign it. There is just for the detail, that's
Okay.
the amount. So right here is the amount that we raised by taxes to pay for that.
And do you have a per mile amount?
Oh, what was it, Laura,
It's over
13,000?
12,000.
Yeah, it was over 12,000.
And it's supposed to be 3,000?
No, 300 has to be more than 300 per mile, $300. We're at like 12,000.
What are we doing wrong? I
It's
mean,
an
why is
old-
it?
I mean, I think it's
Just an outdated
right,
law.
Right. You get out and fill the potholes in front of your house and,
You're good to
to
go.
for your taxes.
I mean, can you
But-
imagine if it only costs $300
That
a
would be a
mile to
wonderful
take care of
thing,
your
wouldn't it?
highways? I mean, that includes everything.
Per
It
year,
includes
yeah.
your, that doesn't just include like the actual maintenance of the highway. Our
Right.
highway budget
It's-
includes town garage, it
Right,
includes
right,
equipment,
right,
it
Miles,
includes everything.
yes, what do we have,
All
60,
salaries.
68 miles, something like that?
I think there's,
66,
60,
yeah.
yeah, somewhere in that range, so,
Jeez.
wow.
It's a
Yes,
lot.
that would be,
Yeah.
all right. So motion
I'll
to
make,
accept.
I'll make a motion to approve the annual financial plan for town highways, 19 VSA 3060, no,
TA
306.
60 form,
TA
yeah.
60.
The TA 60 form.
Okay, second.
All right, well, it's been moved and second to accept the town highway to, well, we're not accepting it, we're
Approving.
approving town highway form TA 60. Any further questions? If not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay.
Just the one
Nice,
page
big
signatures?
Right, just that first page, and then all of that needs to go to Laura.
Okay.
for Anita.
And up to the People's Bank resolution?
So, due to the change of personnel, we need to change all of the signers on our bank accounts. We want to list Denise as the treasurer and let her have authority to sign on all of the accounts and also give her the authority to assign who else could. So, right now she's appointing Anita assistant treasurer. So Anita will be added to the signature cards until June 30th or until there's a change made to who the assistant treasurer is. And then this will give Denise
The ability to.
to then assign somebody else without having to come back here. So that's what Denise is listed on here for. So this is the resolution saying that. And then the back page, Scott, you'll have to sign as board chair, and
I am a notary, but
Denise can
is it-
notarize it. You're only notarizing his signature,
Okay.
so I think it's okay.
Right,
And
I didn't know if there was a conflict, seeing how my name was on there.
No. And the rest of this stuff is
Who
just
else?
my
I mean, Anita
information.
could do that, right?
Mhm.
Right, but
Would it
she's
be
not
worth-
here.
No, I know, but
I don't-
I don't know. I don't know whether they would care.
No,
Okay.
no, because no, it's
You're
fine.
just notarizing Scott's signature.
Right, she's a notary
You're
and
not-
she's just
You're
notarizing
not
Scott's.
notarizing her own.
She's not notarizing
signature.
her own signature.
Okay.
And you guys are making a motion, you guys are the ones that are authorizing this whole
Right.
thing, so. If for some reason it ends up being a which I'm sure it's not,
Can happen. yeah.
then I'll just have them send another
Yeah.
page, call Scott and have him come in, but it was fine.
Yeah.
Sign, swear on a stack of Bibles and call it good. All right, I would entertain a motion to accept the People's Bank resolution as presented.
So moved.
Second?
All right, well, it's been moved and seconded to
You send
accept the
that.
People's Bank resolution concerning signing on making out checks on accounts, signing checks on accounts.
Yeah, I got a lip here in the table.
All in favor, before we sign it all off?
Aye.
Aye.
And then Scott, you need to sign on this page.
Yep.
And you don't need Steve and I to sign anything?
No.
Only the chair.
Well,
And then
now I
here's the
really feel
notary
that way.
section.
You
Kick me while I'm down.
Oops. adjournment. And does this go to you, Denise, or back to you?
I'm gonna take it.
No.
Thanks.
I'm actually gonna give it to Denise.
All right, back to liquor licenses.
Go ahead, if you wanna do that, Denise, and then you can do finish this.
Okay, so I have the yearly liquor licenses. Same as usual, we have added, next stage to this pile. And I've done it, you have to sign twice on these because they have an outdoor permit.
Is that why
Okay,
they're
so
on
there'll
there
be
twice?
there'll be two, yes.
Okay.
Yes, there'll be two, so one for the liquor and then one for the outside, so, okay? And we haven't had any problems with any of the folks that are on the list, so.
Nobody's
But I'm gonna
outstanding
attest that you guys signed them, so I figured I better be here to be attesting to that.
Testing.
Good.
There will be.
No, I looked over the list and there isn't anybody on there that I'm concerned with or has any outstanding.
So,
And
Want
the
this
Gleanery and JD's are both, there's two licenses because they have
Indoor
outdoor
and
and outdoor events or cater. And we don't have anybody else for catering? For some reason, I thought in the past.
Katie's gonna do that? Katie's, no, it's not.
I don't think so.
Didn't talk about it, but.
They had stuff outside, like a band and stuff, but I don't
They
know.
don't serve liquor, or they don't
so
set up a bar
that's-
out there or
I don't think
something.
It takes it back to the question of having just signed off for the general store. Will we be
I did check with Lisa, she
See the
said
new-
that is the appropriate new name for it, cause it used, you can see on our list here.
Yeah.
It used to
Yeah.
be called Jolly Bee.
something. But I just looked at the liquor license that you guys signed and it doesn't really, it just says,
Right.
well, what it says is that application license year is May 1st through April 30th of the following year. So does that mean that because they signed it in 2017, that it's good for that whole year?
You know, they get a pretty unruly
This-
crowd in there.
These are only, April 30th is when all of these that they're signing right now expire. So I don't know,
You don't know if this
I
one
had,
will all of a
I
sudden
had one
expire.
from Next Stage that came in and it was good for only 1 month.
Yeah.
They had just,
Last.
Well, we'll have to
you
see what
know,
happens.
so yeah, we'll have to see.
So there's a possibility we might have to re-sign it,
Right.
or do sign it
It'll
for
be
that.
just that one.
Yeah.
So, what's the next item is Sidewalk Phase 2.
this is. Disclosure.
I don't think he liked what you did.
I don't think so, he was talking to me.
They're a nonprofit, aren't they?
No, who fills that part out to me?
This
that?
shows,
No,
they're not listed as a nonprofit, next stage?
that is true. But they're the ones that fill out all of that information, so.
That's kind of weird, huh, Josh?
What, all this?
No, that.
That was a little weird, yeah, I'm not sure.
Huh.
I'm gonna bring that to their attention
Yeah.
the other day. But they obviously checked it off.
The rest of this stuff must be yours too.
Yeah. This is actually one they want you to fill out, but that's the profile they need set up. I don't know that you need it, because I think you have accounts at People's that have it, but.
Oh, right.
But I told her I'd have you fill it out anyways, but they want it faxed to them, they don't want it sent per email, because they don't want anybody to be able to get it.
Well, yeah, because it's got your social security number on there.
Yeah.
Big bold print in this one.
that's true for these guys too.
Yeah,
Are they enough, the co-op?
a cooperative?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, they're the ones filling it out.
I know, no, it's interesting, I'm not sure whether.
I don't
And
know
they-
that they're
and-
not a, you think they're not?
I don't know,
Uh,
I'm not sure, it's just that,
yeah, I don't know how
Like
it works
the-
with a cooperative.
Yeah, find out what's going on. You wanna
Where are they all gone?
Thank you.
check?
right up Route
I
5.
would check.
No, no,
Okay.
no, Kimball Hill.
Okay. We're distracted tonight.
That's right. Focus, let's pull this back. All right, the sidewalk, phase 2, we've got some,
Yeah, I didn't put anything in your
you've got
packet.
a next step for us.
I don't know. I guess I need some guidance. So at the last meeting, we talked about the construction bids were rejected. I told both of the contractors that that was the case. I have sent out an email to, I think there was 11 contractors that are on our list. I've talked to both of the contractors that did bid, they would rebid, they said. And I've gotten feedback from maybe 4 of the 11 saying that 2 of them I think said they would bid on the project. One of them said they were just too busy. Cause I asked for feedback as to why they didn't bid on the project. One of them, there was a concern of who our resident engineer was.
Really?
We haven't selected one yet, but they wanted to know because there's some that they've had trouble working with. I didn't tell him because we haven't selected anybody. So that's who I heard back from at this point. Obviously, I mean, it's kind of hard. Last week was town meeting and then we got a snowstorm in the middle of all this. So I think yesterday, I sent the email out like Monday morning. I think probably people were busy yesterday. So it sounds like there's a possibility that we will get some bids in on it.
If we were to put it out.
If we were to put it out again right now. That is what the state has encouraged us to do because there's something to do with the construction money. We don't lose it, but they have to put it back in after 30 days, they kind of have to put it back and then you have to do the paperwork to bring it back in. So there's a cost to doing these bids, which at this point right now shouldn't be too bad. We're not advertising in the newspaper again. It's a waste of money. That's not where people are getting the bid.
They're going
either to the state website, and then I figured if we do rebid right now, I would send letters directly to the
Yeah.
companies. No emails, no, yeah. So I guess I'm just looking for guidance on whether you guys think we should try one more time this spring. There might be some that bid on projects the last time around and didn't get them, and now they're looking for, one company had told me that there were so many things going on at the same time, they just kind of picked the ones that
Right,
they may not have gotten,
most likely,
Right.
yeah,
that was awarded to them, I don't know.
yeah.
So,
Well, I mean, if the state is encouraging us that way,
Right.
then,
And we, instead of stepping backwards and reinventing the wheel yet again.
I feel like we should at least try.
right,
And
we
see
can,
what
we
happens. I
can, we
really
have
am
the option
worried.
to reject them a second time,
That's right.
Yeah,
yeah,
as long as there's a good,
reason.
And
Yeah.
what kind of time frame are you looking at
Well,
for
I think-
getting those letters?
Well, I'm gonna be gone next week, so, we could probably get the bid out this Friday and then have it back within maybe 3 weeks, so another month.
Right,
Yeah, the one thing I think that's an obstacle for some of the contractors is the cost of the plans and the documents. It's $150 just to get the paperwork.
For that, basically in order for them to bid, you mean?
right.
Can we reduce that or not?
Yeah, we probably, we can do whatever we want, somebody's gonna pick the cost up though.
Right.
So that's been talked about, of making that more
Seems a fairly piddling sum in the
accessible.
consideration of a
What the scale of the
$250
project.
million project.
I don't know if that's really an obstacle for people or not. I mean, that was just one of the things that we talked about. I don't quite understand why we can't send things electronically.
Well, that's what I
It
was,
seems silly to me as long as everybody has the same opportunity to get it electronically, so I'll double check that, but,
Well, and could we have the option of sending it electronically, or you pay the document fee, or?
yeah, I don't know. There was a reason why we couldn't. They didn't want it being distributed out to I don't know, I don't really understand that, but I'll double check that.
We'll find out.
So there may be a decision made quickly by me that I'm just gonna make the decision whether we reduce the price and we pick up a little bit of it, or, if that seems to be an obstacle for people. I mean, they can come down here and look at it, it's just that the document's this thick, I mean, you're gonna
Right.
sit here for. A lot of it's boilerplate and they're used to seeing it,
Right,
it's not,
Right,
you know,
right,
so a
but
lot of
they're
it's just
looking
the.
for, right,
But they
The
need a
actual-
copy of it one way or another.
right.
So, I'm leaning towards rebidding right off. And see what
If we're
happens.
gonna rebid, we should certainly do it.
Yeah, I'll try to
As
do
soon
it.
as
I mean, it
possible,
should be
so.
pretty simple, Laura, don't you think, just to get that, cause it's just a
Yeah, I mean, we have.
matter of just changing the dates on what we have.
Changing the date
And then doing a
Posting it.
mailing and posting it. Yeah, so we'll try to get that out Friday before I leave for vacation and get a schedule of when, you know, pre-bid meeting can happen and. You know, I talked to one contractor today, he's like, sometimes Cynthia, you know, it might be that a contractor was gone for a week and
Right.
didn't even know,
And
you know,
missed
kind of
it.
missed it.
Missed it.
and-
Or as you say,
Yeah,
you know,
and just
that
that,
they already
I got-
did on 3
yeah.
other things and
No, and it might be,
said, that, you know,
like you said, send a letter, and then maybe when you get back, just do a follow-up phone
Yeah.
call and say, hey, you know, we really would like response to this.
Yeah, I didn't-
so what action would you like from us?
I think
On-
maybe
on
just
all
a,
that?
if, I don't really need a vote, maybe
Okay.
just a consensus that that's what we're
That
gonna
would
do.
be-
You guys
Sounds-
are okay with
sounds
that?
reasonable.
Okay.
what is, the resident engineer?
He, it's the construction on-site engineer to
Mhm.
make sure that what they're doing for work
Oh, okay,
is
so,
according to
okay.
the plan.
Okay, and who,
Sort of a quality control.
Yeah,
okay, so that, I was getting the impression it would have to be someone from this town or something like that, but that's not.
no,
so it was-
no, we actually did that, we,
Pat, is that public yet?
what?
Did, we put it out, but we
We put
haven't.
it out and we received 3
Okay,
proposals back, and I went through them, Scott went through them,
Mhm.
and
oh yeah. you
the
were talking
regional
about
planning
this last
commission
week,
went
yes.
through.
Right.
We all scored. I still haven't opened the cost estimates because I was waiting to see if we were even going to.
Right, proceed with it.
We all agreed on the same engineer. I'm not going to say who that is right now because we
Mhm.
haven't gotten together to talk about it. But and I haven't looked at the
Mhm.
cost estimates. But all 3 of us, without even sitting in the same room, came back with the same engineer. But at this point, they have told me that their proposals, 2 of them have told me that their proposals and their costs are good at least for another 1.5 years. So we wouldn't have to go back out.
For that.
For that.
portion of it.
Yeah.
Right, okay,
So, so that's kind of just sitting, waiting for there's no project for them to look at, then there's,
right.
yeah.
Do they generally work for an engineering firm or something?
Yes.
Or are these independent?
No, they're
Okay,
engineering
okay.
firms, yeah.
And they do, you know, make sure the compaction is done appropriately.
Right, they certify the
Testing
payroll.
for concrete and, you know.
They review the certified payrolls and we do, you know, bi-weekly meetings and, you end up with a packet of information for them to keep
Mhm.
for your records that just tells everything that they did. You know, if there's something not done by plan, they work with the contractor, so.
So the
Yeah, so they're
liaison
kind of
between-
a, you know, they're out there
Project
making,
manager.
they're out there making sure that it's being built to what the spec is.
Right.
Yeah,
Okay,
so. All right, so I will work on that before I leave. Sounds like a
We
plan.
have a question on mowing of town properties.
I just wanted to let you guys know that I have contacted Eric McGowan. He has been doing our cemeteries and our town mowings for the last at least year. We did not go out to bid for the cemeteries this year because we had one cemetery commissioner and we just ran out of time. So we're going to have a full commission. So in the fall, they are gonna go out to bid and try to do a 3-year contract. And we are gonna be hiring somebody this summer to do the town mowings. Because of the, after town meeting, we were able to have the money to hire somebody. So I talked to Eric the other day, he is still wants to do the cemetery, so I just told him to go ahead and do them for this year until we get the next bid cycle out. And he will also do the town properties through July 30th, because that will give us some time between July 1st and 30th to get the new employee up to speed, buy the equipment, that kind of thing. So this really isn't something that I need a vote on, it's just more letting you know what is going on with the mowing, so that when you guys see Eric mowing, and we hired a person, he is going to give me a quote for the summer and fall, and I might bring it back at that point, just so if it's, just,
Make sure it's reasonable.
yeah, make sure it's reasonable, and I'm gonna talk to Betsy and the other cemetery commissioners about the price that he comes back with the cemetery, so. So he's gonna get that back to me, but that's where we're at with mowing.
Okay, so you don't.
No,
Okay,
no, I'm already,
motion on
yeah,
that.
it's fine.
And we're just reaching a consensus, which I'm assuming
Sounds
are
reasonable.
in
Yep.
consensus.
Yep.
Yep.
Cemetery commissioner appointments.
So we've had actually 3 people interested in becoming cemetery commissioner. Betsy has talked to, well, at least she's talked to 2 of them, Greg Wilson and Nancy Hood. The 3rd one came in a couple days ago asking if there was a spot available. Betsy is recommending Greg and Nancy, not anything against the 3rd person, which off the top of my head, I can't remember who it is right now.
And the third person, Betsy, is aware of it?
She is
The third
aware of it,
person.
and I called her before I responded to her, and I did I wish I had her name, I didn't print it. I did let her know that although we didn't have a spot to appoint her as cemetery commissioner, that they would love to have her come to the meeting. So Betsy's gonna invite her to the next meeting.
Good.
There's plenty to do without being an actual commissioner.
Yeah.
They have a lot of work to do and they would love the help.
Yeah.
Also gave her the options of other things going on in town, and I haven't heard back from her, but copied Betsy on all of it, so I'm sure they'll involve anybody that
Good.
wants to be. But Greg has been wanting to be a commissioner for quite a while, and Nancy and Betsy have talked for quite a while too, so we kind of figured there wasn't really anything wrong with all 3 of them, and those were the first 2 to kind of come forward, so that was a fair way to do it. So we just need a
I'll make a
motion.
motion that we accept the recommendation from Betsy McIsaac to appoint Nancy Hood and Greg Wilson as cemetery commissioners.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to appoint Greg Wilson and Nancy Hood as cemetery commissioners. And is there a term of that office? For a term of?
Are they staggered, Laura?
They're elected, so I think they are staggered. Is it?
But they're appointed, so will they have to come up next year
They'll come up when
anyways?
the
Oh.
original term was due.
So they need to be elected next year?
So one of them will end up probably needing to be elected. One would probably be a 2-year, I can't remember, 2-year and a 1-year
All
or
right, then
something like that.
we won't put that in the motion, we'll just,
Yeah, we'll let them know which slot they
Right,
want.
right. I didn't know whether it was a.
That's a good point.
3-year
I didn't even
position.
think of it today.
I'm just figuring it out. It's been moved and seconded. Any other questions concerning the appointment of cemetery commissioners? And if not, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right, the last item is a VHFA tax credit allocation letter and response.
Hold on, I'm trying to see where this fire is. In case we need to,
Here comes Westminster. Oh, and another Putney truck.
Holland Hill,
Holland Hill. Great.
chimney fire.
Huh.
You wanna call home?
There's nobody's home yet.
Okay, well, that's what it is.
Oh boy. Oh well.
Camera's on. He's talking about his own house, in case anybody's wondering. He's
I think
only
it-
talking about his own
That's
house.
right. It's one way to get the remodel done.
You might want to stop now.
Oh, no, I can take myself.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go on to the next one. I just wanted to let you guys know that I wrote a letter. VHFA requires us to comment to some extent on the tax credit allocation that the Putney Landing project, the affordable housing project, they want us to have a chance to voice our opinion on this project before they allocate the tax credit. So I wrote a letter just saying that we are aware of the project, that we've been very supportive of it, and that we really, other than that, we don't have questions or comments. Basically, we want to see the tax credits allocated to this project. So that letter had to be in, and I got it before I could have a meeting with you guys. So I just wanted to let you know that that was. It's not too late to comment further if we want to. I think I can. I had to mail it to them the other day, but I think I could call them if there's something you want me to change in the letter. This is the standard letter I did last year for the other
Sounds good.
project too.
Mhm.
Okay. Just wanted that.
Is that the Vermont Housing Financial Agency or something like
Yeah.
that?
Finance agency.
It is the Vermont Housing Finance Agency, there you go. So those are the things that.
And you have a report for us?
I have a couple things. One of them's listed, but I came up with some other ones today. Carpet replacement is going to be done on so the schedule is May 4th, which is a Thursday. The mover will come in, move all of the big furniture out. Friday they'll do the asbestos removal. Saturday the carpet will go in. We're hoping to get somebody to come in and
I did hear
clean.
from somebody.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Because we can't find anybody.
Yeah.
So we're looking for somebody to do, when everything's out and the carpet's in, wash the walls, get rid of cobwebs, clean the windows, that kind of thing. So we're hoping to get somebody that would be able to do that on a Sunday, because that's when everything's gonna be out. Monday, we'll be having, the movers come back and move the big stuff back in.
You don't want to do all that washing before the carpet goes in?
No, there's so much stuff in there.
Oh, mhm.
I mean, we'd have to move the furniture anyways, and we can't.
No, but he's just talking about
Yeah.
the carpet itself. But
The carpet
the
itself.
way the scheduling is, the carpet's going in Saturday, so
Yeah.
if you want to do an overnight on Friday,
Oh.
Which I don't even
Yeah.
know, but once the asbestos people
Mhm.
leave, is there a certain amount of, now we can come in.
yeah,
No, it
no,
should
they're
be
done.
fine, yeah.
Once
Yeah.
they're gone, they're gone.
So what are you gonna do with the safe that's there?
They're gonna move that.
Okay.
Yeah, when
It will fit through the door?
when they came to look, when the movers came to look, they did whatever we'll see,
Just kind of-
yeah.
what it is.
The Wednesday before, the moving of everything, so that's the 3rd, we are having the IT people come in, they're gonna move a couple computers into the lister's office and our
So you can
server, so that,
use that.
yeah, I'll be here most of the time, other than Friday when they're taking asbestos out of here, but, so it's gonna be, Wednesday to the following Tuesday that we're gonna be kind of out of commission. I'll still be around, but, yeah. So that's happening. We have 2 grants that I worked on yesterday. One is they're both Better Roads grants. One of them is a category B, which we can get up to $20,000 for. We are going to be doing a project, if we get it awarded, on Sand Hill Road. The corner just past Anita's and you're going towards the school. The utility poles will be removed. We're gonna create some stone line ditching, and then down at the bottom there'll be a check dam and then a small retention area, because a lot of the sediment's going into the wetland. So that's a project that hopefully, if we get it, cross our fingers, will be fully funded. There is a match, but we're gonna be using all of our own equipment. We're not hiring any, now that we have the excavator, we'll have the equipment that we can do it ourselves. So the match is not gonna be a problem, it's gonna be part of the budget that we already have. We're looking, I think it's gonna be, we estimate around 25,000 total. And then the second grant that I'm applying for through them is the Category A grant, which is up to $8,000 to do a road erosion inventory, which is a requirement of the Act 64, the new general permit, roads permit that the state has come up with, which is gonna be, I think within the next, I think it's one more year cycle, but we have to have that inventory done. So those are 2 grants that are due Friday that, well, they're pretty much done. I just need to, Brian has to tweak one of them a little bit. So those are going in. And then I don't know if any one of you are free Friday morning at 10:30 to come to a meeting here. Wyndham Regional contacted, not Wyndham Regional, Wyndham and Windsor Housing Trust contacted me about the Putney Landing Road project. There's a problem with access from Putney Landing Road because apparently I might say this wrong. I don't quite understand it 100%. Apparently there's a federal right-of-way right there that we have to get permission to cross. And the town is the only one that can get the permission. We have to apply for it. So there's a meeting here with all of the key people to decide how that process is and what we would have to do as far as the town. One of the things they mentioned was even though it's not gonna be a town road, it's gonna be, they think that the process is gonna be treated as such in getting the permitting. And I said, I think that the major concern with the town will be who is going to be responsible for that road once it's, the access. So they'll go over all that too, but they requested that a select board member be there as well if it was possible. They knew it was short notice. So that's Friday here at 10:30.
You can.
I can, so if I don't know if you.
I can't. Unfortunately.
One of you will be here. Scott will be here.
Yes, I will be here at 10:30.
You wanna go check on your house first?
He might be trying to get a place up
He
there.
might be
Well,
coming here.
He'd be upstairs.
We should not even be laughing about that. That is not funny.
Again, we're only laughing
We're only
if it's
laughing
Scott's house.
because
Right.
we're
Right.
talking about Scott's house.
Well, it's
He's the one that
chimney
said
fire.
it. He
We
started
have
it.
to, we have the chimney cleaned this year, so I'm not.
Okay, so 10:30 here on Friday.
Yes,
Okay.
10:30 on Friday.
And then I think I've told all of you, but I'm gonna be on vacation next week, going to Nashville for a week. So I might be back Friday, depending on,
Weather.
well, I don't know, depending on my mood, I guess, I don't know. And we get back in Thursday and I might come down and just kind of check in and, yeah. I think that's all I have. I didn't print a status report. We're spending money, but not more than we
We're
have.
where we think we should be, roughly.
Yeah, and just as a note to that whole discussion we had earlier about the pay for Anita and Denise, and in doing and I think I might have mentioned this before, in what we're paying Anita, what we've increased Denise to, but we have other money that we're not spending because Denise was the clerk, it all evened out.
Yeah.
So there isn't extra money being spent because of this transition.
And where are we on finding a
Bookkeeper?
bookkeeper?
So Laura and I sat down and went through a calendar trying to figure out when we were gonna do the advertisements for both bookkeeper and the new highway position. We're gonna advertise around April, for maybe a May timeframe of interviewing people, and I would like the new bookkeeper, if we can find somebody, to start maybe a couple weeks before the end of June. And then the highway position will start July 1st. So that's kind of I don't wanna put it out too soon and not really have a spot ready for people. So that will be the only bit of overlap maybe with wages that is the bookkeeper for a couple weeks, but. Because right now we're kind of sorting things out as far as the finance stuff, and
Yeah.
we did get the cash receipts set up, so Denise and Barbara are already using it.
Good change.
Yeah.
Works really well.
So that's done. So it's kind of like little things at a time as they come up. So,
Out of curiosity, what type of certification does a bookkeeper, do they require any particular certification, you know?
no.
No?
I mean,
Mhm.
you could advertise as a bookkeeper.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean,
Right.
there's not a necessary, am I looking for somebody that has some
Experience.
Yeah,
experience
yeah,
and,
yeah.
but there isn't a
Okay.
certification.
You're not looking for a CPA or anything
Right,
like
okay,
that.
I just,
Yeah.
yeah, just curious.
I mean, I think really ideally, this person obviously has bookkeeping experience, but ideally it's somebody that really is familiar with a lot of the new electronic, that, because that's the major piece that we're missing right
Yeah.
now,
Mhm.
is that piece of it.
Tech savvy.
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of other things where they'll be doing, collecting taxes and that kind of thing, but just,
Would it be worth being, and maybe this is, excuse me, would it be worth being in touch with Sevitz about this?
mhm. Yeah,
You're not looking for an intern, but they might have.
yeah.
They might have people.
Well, and you never know, interns turn into.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We do have, I do have a meeting with Kristen at Seveds, not next week, obviously, the week after, to talk about the internship program. And then there's another person from Seveds that I'm going to meet with, she's new, after I get back, about other stuff that we can make sure that Putney's getting
Their services.
their services and that
Sounds good.
people are really aware of it. So I've got a couple of meetings with them coming up.
Good.
Other than that, I think I'm done.
Alright. Dan, do we have anything else in front of us?
I don't think so. I don't.
Talk about
Oh,
town
yeah.
meeting at all?
Do you have warrants?
Oh, yeah.
And some warrants?
No, I don't have anything, just bills to pay. I haven't heard anything since town meeting,
No.
really. No.
No, that's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just, you know,
Pretty, I thought we hit on the points we needed to, but didn't.
Oh, well, there is, I did
Horses.
email Keith Clark
I was about to say,
and
right,
said,
considering that-
now that town meeting's over, now that we know what the budget is, I think it's wise for us to get together. I told him me and another,
Correct.
and a
Mhm.
select board
Proper
member would sit
contract.
down and look at a contract and really make sure what we think the people of Putney were asking
Right.
is what, you know, he understood, and just so that we have a clear communication before June 30th when and we'll have another meeting with the Public Safety Committee
I
at
was
that
about
point
to
too.
say, what is gonna be the status of the Public Safety Committee at this point, and are they going to continue their work and exploring?
Yeah, I think they should, yeah.
We
Yeah,
gotta
okay.
reorganize.
No, that's,
Oh wow, you don't wanna be chair anymore?
And secretary and,
And I have on my radar to start talking about the recycling stuff, but honestly, I haven't had any time to
yeah.
do any more research on it, or that's gonna have to be a major conversation with Brian we should probably go over there at some point. If we're thinking seriously about moving these to
Yeah.
the highways, go over there and just kinda look around and see
Actually,
what we
now that
think.
we've had the daylight savings time, we can.
Yeah.
Right.
And we could start a meeting. over there.
Yeah.
Are there, you know, kind of across from where the public access for the sand is that kind of a wetland area there? Do you know?
I don't know.
well, remember that, you know, that's the site of the old dump in Putney that was open
It is,
until,
okay.
well, through the early 70s, I'm gonna say like 73, 74, something like that.
Okay.
Up there.
Down to the left there, or?
When you go down the driveway, well, and on the right, there's still the remains of the foundation, there was a little
Yeah.
house where the dump keeper lived. And then you kind of curled around to the left, it may be a little wettish in there.
I was just wondering if there's,
I don't know, I'd have to look at the map.
I mean,
Well, we
it's-
should look
there
at
are
the A
issues now,
Well, yeah,
you know,
So we probably don't wanna start digging around.
ugh.
yeah.
Well, being the
Just-
old dump.
Looking at this warrant and the payment to the high school reminds me, we had that discussion at one point. You might wanna talk to the the school board was in favor of having you guys turn over school.
Yeah, I have a call into, I'm waiting for a call from Frank, and we're gonna have a meeting.
We're gonna
with him.
meet with
Okay,
Frank
good,
Yeah.
and
because it
figure
just
out.
made me think,
Yeah,
they
because
may be able to take some of this from you, so
I do have to say, if you wanna
You
push
don't have
Alice
to-
a little bit, to push them, I've called them like 3 or 4 times.
to talk to Frank?
Yeah,
Okay.
and
I can do
I
that.
can't seem to quite get an appointment to meet with them, so, because one of the things, I just wanted them to tell us what is going on and what is it that we can do to streamline
Turn
it.
over.
And
Okay.
Anita has started telling me what she is doing. with-
Right.
You know, so.
Yeah.
It was
So I will,
Alice's impression that the WSESU would be happy to, I mean, to the best of my recollection, in her words, essentially take that stuff in-house, and I don't know
Yeah.
what that means.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it sounded to me like some of the schools, or some
Oh,
of the
really?
towns don't do as much of the accounting as we are doing.
Yeah, so that's what the
For
meeting
our
is for them to
district.
say, what is it that we,
Can
yeah.
turn over to you, and what does that mean,
Yeah.
and so on.
Whose
So-
responsibilities are whose?
So I think it would be.
So we're
with
waiting
that.
for that
So,
call.
okay, I'll tell Alice.
Yeah.
Put that on there.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's just, everybody's been busy with town meetings,
Yeah,
and now that
yeah.
that's over, yeah. I think that another
There's
call.
just loads of extra time now.
Yeah, it's just, it's great.
Everybody's just kicking back.
I don't know, in conversations and whatnot, did you have anybody sort of pressing you on any issues or anything that stands out? Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Yeah.
it's a good time to review that while it's still fresh in our minds. All right.
I did tell Brian if he could and he says he does it anyways, but really track the number of hours that the excavator is being used.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's gonna be important to really
Show.
show that.
Justify.
Yeah, because it's
this
really
expense.
difficult for people to understand how much, if you're only in a certain section of town all the time, you don't know that stuff is going on somewhere else. And
Right.
and I told him it wouldn't hurt to do that. I said, I hate to make him spend a lot of time
Well,
doing paperwork,
part of that is,
but I think it's important for this one to at least,
part of that is also just as simple as keeping track of the hour meter on the excavator.
yeah,
Year to year. you
Yeah.
know. I mean, if we're putting,
yeah. So,
250.
just that grant that we're applying for, he had estimated the excavator work at 120, no, it was $9,600 for the whole time that we were going to rent it. Which, if we didn't have it, we would be paying somebody that
Right.
$9,600.
yeah,
Where in this case, we'll be getting,
that as match.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, not to throw it in people's face or anything, I don't wanna do that, it's just more of,
Just accountability.
so that people really understand the value that we're getting out of it.
Yeah.
And if we find out that the value's not good, it is a lease.
Yeah.
So I have asked him to do that.
I think you did a reasonable job of explaining,
Yeah,
the new state regulations on
Yeah.
ditching and culvert work and whatnot.
Yeah.
And it's just a machine that's more capable.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of younger guys coming along are more familiar and comfortable with that particular kind of piece of equipment.
It's
It's
true.
become a
Standards,
standard
Yeah,
operating
very true.
piece for excavation
or
work.
just job sites and everything.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly. I mean,
and we are looking at the budget to find money for the trailer, cause that was a
That
boo-boo.
was
That was a boo-boo. Yeah. And I knew, and I totally, I mean, I knew we had talked about it, that it was a boo-boo.
We don't have a trail, I guess
Not
I'm
one
sort
that
of
will-
surprised
no.
that we don't.
But he's been looking at used ones.
That's what I was gonna suggest.
He's leaning towards a used one, and we do have money left in contracted services this year, with not really a lot of plan to do anything by June 30th that we can use that money, so, we will make it work with
Yeah,
what we
that's a
have.
good use.
That's a
for it.
relatively available item on the market.
Yeah, and
And
he
he's
said if it was,
really-
if he was a contractor that was driving all over the state, that's
You
one
wouldn't,
thing. He
right.
said, but we're just bringing it around
Yeah.
here, and he'll pick
Yeah.
a used trailer that's,
Yeah, and they can do some more.
Yeah.
with it. Yeah.
so that's where we're at with the trailer. That was a boo-boo. Sorry. I didn't like that at all.
Yep.
All right.
But,
All right.
Anything else this evening? Anybody? If not, I would
So moved.
entertain a motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, aye, aye. Next meeting is
29.
29th.